Thank you for the kind introduction, and I will start, and then Elias will join in the end. As he has already talked this morning, he asked me to take the major part. But it's actually collaborative research, and it's somehow also not that easy with two countries, different educational levels, and also different time to research and to evaluate data. This said, I have to apologize. We have, due to COVID pandemics, it's still on. We couldn't go to school, especially in Switzerland, and so we are very. We only got the data very recently, and we couldn't evaluate as much as we expected. So it's more a work in progress than already some results and manifest data. So first I want to introduce you to what is actually the behavior of Swiss and Greek students on social media. And that's asked in this context. We ask why we should research history and social media. When we started to discuss about the question, my colleague from media department indicated to me why we capture the media of the youth. Is that an ethical thing at all? Should you really do that? He asked, and so we gave the project a little other direction. So it will be more participatory, and now in the first stage we are going to ask more how they familiarize themselves with historical narratives, and we will focus on Instagram and TikTok at the moment, and then later on there is a phase where we do an ethnographic study and observe students in a learning environment or in an archive environment while they're creating a post, and negotiate and discuss what actually is going to be in the post and why. And we are trying now to establish a collaboration with the museum, and then it could be done in a public institution with sources and accounts from this institution, and then it could be presented by this. The work of the students could be presented to the public, so they act as public historians in a public history institution, so that gives them a real participation, and they really can. It's not can really participate to public history, and not only for us as researchers, or who force them to, or the teachers who force them to take part. So that's the second phase that will be happening hopefully in spring. Okay. Now we're talking about the first about the James study in Switzerland. James study is an acronym for Young and Media Experience. So what actually is very important within the last 3 years, this study has been done several years now, is that flat rate streaming in Switzerland is affordable, has become affordable for most, actually for 80% of adolescents have flat rate streaming, and they can share with their smartphones. They can share the hotspot. So about 95 to it depends a bit about to the region you live, but you can count 95% of Switzerland has a flat rate, or can use a flat rate in interaction with their friends on recreation on the campus during school breaks, or in free time. So that's a major change. Only within the last 3 years. Before, it was very expensive and now it's also so that's why this social media has increased. And as you can see here, from 2014 to 2020, Instagram has been popular and is the most popular medium, but they use it on a daily basis or several times a week. So and then Snapchat, and as you see, the third one is TikTok. From 2018, has gained the third place. In Greece, the situation is similar. We asked the students specifically. The data is not that valid here in Greece as in Switzerland. Switzerland, there were about 3,500 youngsters. In Greece, we have 150 only, but still, you can see that Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat are the most popular media as well. So that made us focus on Instagram and TikTok. We are taking a theoretical approach as social media as micro practices of a participatory culture, and I don't suppose that I have to go into that. We can that is already known by probably everybody. So the affiliation I have been talking about, there is the expression we have been seeing in the morning with Divon and Effer, and collaborative problem solving. We have been talking about to do that in spring, and the circulation, and we will hear of that from other presenters at this conference. It's also reception and producing, and the cross-cutting of these is interesting. So we are saying that posts that have something to do with the history or the past belongs to history culture that surrounds us, and does also deal with identity and self-presentation. So that leads us to the idea that these kind of posts are micro practices of historical culture, not only popular, because also academics are posting, and it is the question if there is a mimification of the historical cultural phenomena. We already also saw some aspects of this this morning. So we started out in an exploratory way. We showed we wanted to see whether they can grasp the irony of this post, go back and forth in time, and or what they think about this post. And Greek students, they are good scholars, so they answered the question properly, or more. And the Swiss, just to go a little bit, Swiss were very laconic. But what I want to say is that in both countries, the people cracked this multi-layered post, and but the Swiss post is probably more accurate to actually what is Instagram about for the youngsters. They were very blunt, it's direct, and it's not something they consider to be a part of school. So the third here, I want to indicate this one. Funny enough, that was my son. I could track it back. Yeah, and because it was also his class who answered, and this was my dad would find funny. So there was the tension, what actually is youth culture and what is actually adult culture in this medium. So from there, I skip this, From there, we went to a second questionnaire, and we tried to give more the voice to the students, and not to give them posts, but also to collect posts. Yeah. So we have first asked them if they actually remember, or if they really have encountered posts that has something to do with the past or with history. So we have a rather negative trend here in both countries. We have a minority who is saying that they are doing that regularly. Others never or rarely encountered history or historical posts on TikTok or on Instagram. Instagram less than on TikTok. Then we showed them TikTok posts and Instagram posts. We thought they could also a little bit relate to the school curricula and also to contemporary issues. Especially on, we also tried to choose different aesthetics and versions of narrativation. And yeah, what we saw here is that the interesting thing is, if we give them the possibility to explain the post, how would you explain the post, or why was this post made? What is the author to tell us? What is actually the message? They answered they don't address actually the latter. It's not really. We're not sure what it is, but it could be also a grammar of schooling. They don't answer the explanation question. They only answer the idea that they have to describe what they see. So they are, in both countries, they're somehow describing what they see, like paraphrasing and indicating. But they come to the core in the first findings, but it's not. What is the message of the? If, for instance, as we heard in the morning, is it marginalized history? Make something visible. Tell people that that has to be more addressed or addressed more in society, or that we have to talk about this aspect. That doesn't hardly come up, but it's more descriptive. It's a post about nuclear bombing in Algeria through by French colonial powers, and so it's not really. So now we are thinking about going to have more encounter with the student in a face-to-face or interview, or in a group discussion about posts, to see what they really think and how they argue what it could mean, and if they can. What they actually come up with. Now I give to the last section. I give to you, Elias.
Yeah, thank you, Christian. The last slide presents a question we decided to report to this second questionnaire. It's about what do students consider to be a post in relation to the past and history. And we found from the first answers that there are different ideas about the past and history in Switzerland and Greece. As you can see, Greek students focus on the national history, the glory of national historical events and celebrations about the specific historical events against World War II and the Germans or Italians and Bulgarians and the Ottomans on the other hand. On the other hand, Switzerland answers were in a broader approach, everyday history or marginalized histories. That's as the examples we have right now in the slide about the Pride and the history of the Pride. In both countries, we found that there are many historical posts have no connection with history or past. This is a historical post, and there's so much history. How to present the significant events from the past, present specific moments or moments we do not know, and we want to know through a short video on TikTok. I don't know if we have some time to check the first and the second case. I mean the TikTok from the glory in Greece and the TikTok from the history of Pride. But if you have a look on these videos, you can imagine the difference between the two countries.